A farmer never let anyone enter his old barn. When he died and his grandchildren inherited the property, they were absolutely speechless at what they found inside. For the last 15 years of his life, Jackson Grant had been a mystery to his own family. A bitter conflict had driven a wedge between him and his beloved granddaughters, Emma and Sarah. When he passed away, they returned to their childhood farm to handle his estate, their hearts heavy with regret and unanswered questions. But as they spoke with his old friends and neighbors, they all told the same strange story. For 15 years, their grandfather had guarded his old, dilapidated barn like a fortress, installing new locks and security cameras. What secret was he protecting so fiercely? When the granddaughters finally opened those heavy barn doors, they found the stunning answer to that mystery, a secret so vast and so valuable, it would not only change their lives forever, but also reveal the true, hidden depth of their grandfather's love. To understand the treasure that lay waiting in that dusty Nebraska barn, you must first understand the almost mythical world of the barn find. In the culture of classic car collecting, these two words represent the ultimate dream, the Holy Grail. A barn find is the discovery of a classic, valuable, or historically significant vehicle that has been stored away and forgotten for decades, often in a barn, a garage, or an old warehouse, hidden from the public eye. These are automotive time capsules, vehicles that have escaped the ravages of time, weather, and modification. The stories are the stuff of legend. Perhaps the most famous is the Bayonne collection, discovered in 2014 on a French farm. An auctioneer, exploring the property, stumbled upon a series of sheds and outbuildings where he found a collection of 60 priceless, dust-covered classic cars, including a Ferrari and a Bugatti that had been lost to the world for over 50 years. These discoveries are so powerful because they are not just about finding a valuable object, they are about uncovering a lost piece of history, a story of a passion that was, for one reason or another, sealed away and forgotten. Our story's protagonists, granddaughters Emma and Sarah, had grown up on their grandfather Jackson's farm. They had fond memories of their childhood there, of chasing chickens, of the smell of fresh-cut hay, and of their strong, quiet grandfather who always smelled of earth and motor oil. But those happy memories were overshadowed by the event that had torn their family apart 15 years ago. It was a bitter family conflict, a classic story of old ways versus new ideas. Their father had wanted to sell off a portion of the farm to real estate developers to ease the family's financial struggles. But for Jackson, the farm was not just a business, it was a legacy. He saw the sale as a betrayal of the land his own father had worked. The argument was fierce and unforgivable. It created a rift that never healed, and Emma and Sarah, caught in the middle, were pulled away from the farm and from the grandfather they loved. In the years that followed, Jackson Grant became more reclusive. He kept the farm running, but he kept to himself. And it was during this period that his strange obsession with the old barn began. The neighbors noticed the changes. New, heavy-duty locks appeared on the doors. A motion-activated security camera was installed, pointing at the entrance. He was rarely seen going in or out, but it was clear that whatever was inside that barn was being protected like a priceless treasure. The local community, as small towns do, began to speculate. Was the old man hiding a secret fortune? Had his grief and isolation finally made him paranoid? The barn, once a simple farm building, became a local mystery. When Jackson passed away, Emma and Sarah, now young women in their late 20s, returned to the farm. It was an emotional and difficult homecoming. The house was filled with memories, and the farm was in a state of gentle decay. As they began the difficult task of sorting through their grandfather's life, they heard the stories from the neighbors about the mysterious barn. Their own childhood curiosity, long dormant, was reawakened. What had their grandfather been hiding from the world and from them for all those years? In the drawer of his old roll-top desk, tucked inside a dusty ledger, they found a small, single key attached to a simple, handwritten tag that read, "Barn." With their hearts pounding, the two sisters walked across the overgrown yard to the old, weather-beaten structure. The security camera above the door was rusted and defunct, its lens clouded over like a dead eye. They stood before the heavy, sliding wooden doors, the shiny brass padlock gleaming in the afternoon sun. This was the door that had been a symbol of their family's division, a barrier that had kept them from their grandfather's secret. Emma took the key. It slid into the lock perfectly. With a heavy, satisfying click, the lock sprang open. Together, they pulled on the massive, groaning doors. As the doors scraped open, they revealed a dark, cavernous interior, the air thick with the smell of dust, old oil, and something else, the faint, unmistakable scent of leather and aged paint. The interior was filled with large, hulking shapes, all hidden beneath a series of thick, dusty tarps. The mystery was about to be revealed. With a shared, hesitant glance, Emma and Sarah stepped into the dusty, silent barn. The air was still and thick, and the only light came from the wide-open doorway behind them, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air like tiny golden insects. The space was filled with the hulking, ghostly shapes of large objects, all completely hidden under thick, gray canvas tarps. A sense of profound anticipation, mixed with a lifetime of curiosity, hung in the air. Emma, the elder sister, walked slowly towards the nearest shrouded shape. She reached out a trembling hand and grabbed a corner of the heavy, dust-covered tarp. With a deep breath, she pulled. The tarp slid to the floor with a soft whoosh, revealing the object beneath. It was not a tractor. It was not a piece of old farm equipment. It was the gleaming, chrome-covered grille and the iconic, rounded fender of a classic car. As their eyes adjusted, they recognized it from old movies and photographs. It was a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air. Its paint, a stunning two-tone of turquoise and white, preserved almost perfectly under the dust. They stared in absolute, speechless amazement. This was not a forgotten farm vehicle. This was a masterpiece of American automotive design. Suddenly understanding, they rushed through the barn, pulling the tarps off the other shapes one by one. Each reveal was more breathtaking than the last. Under one tarp was a muscular, brutish 1965 Shelby Cobra, its deep blue paint and white racing stripes promising incredible power. Under another was a classic, beautifully restored 1955 Ford F-100 pickup truck, the very model their grandfather had driven in his youth. The collection was a stunning museum of American automotive history. But the final reveal was the most valuable of all. In the very back of the barn, they uncovered a sleek, silver car with the most unique and beautiful doors they had ever seen. Doors that opened upwards, like the wings of a bird. It was a 1956 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, one of the rarest and most sought-after classic cars in the entire world. The barn was not a workshop. It was a vault, a secret multi-million-dollar collection of priceless classic cars. As the two sisters stood in the middle of the incredible collection, their minds reeling with 1,000 questions, Sarah noticed a small metal lockbox sitting on an old, dusty workbench. On top of the box was a single yellowed envelope. With shaking hands, she picked it up. Written on the front in their grandfather's familiar, strong handwriting were their names for Emma and Sarah. She carefully opened the envelope and unfolded the letter inside. As they read their grandfather's final words, the 15-year-old mystery of his silence and the true, heartbreaking depth of his love was finally revealed. "My dearest granddaughters," the letter began, "if you are reading this, then I am gone, and you have finally seen my secret. I know you must have a lot of questions. I know that for the past 15 years, there has been a distance between us, a silence that I am more sorry for than you can ever know. I need you to understand why." He went on to explain the bitter family conflict, his fight with their father over selling the farm. "Your father is a good man," he wrote, "but he sees the land in terms of profit and loss. I see it in terms of legacy, of roots. These cars were my own way of protecting that legacy. I started collecting them long ago, not just because they are beautiful machines, but because I knew, like the land itself, their value was real and enduring. They were my secret insurance policy, a treasure I was saving for a day when the farm might truly need it." And then came the part that made both sisters break down in tears. "After the fight, I was afraid," he wrote. "I was afraid the collection would be sold off, misunderstood, and the one tool I had to save our family's history would be lost. So I locked the door. I know that in doing so, I locked you girls out of my life as well. And that is my life's greatest regret. The silence between us was a price I paid every single day. I chose to guard this treasure for you because I always knew that you, my granddaughters, were the only ones who understood what legacy truly means. You share my heart. This collection was never just for me. It was always for you. It is your inheritance. Use it wisely. Save the farm. But more importantly, keep the ones you love, the ones that tell our family story. Forgive an old man's stubborn ways. I loved you both, always. In the weeks that followed, the discovery of Jackson Grant's secret car collection became a national news story. Experts and collectors from all over the country came to the small Nebraska farm, their faces filled with awe as they walked through the incredible barn find. They confirmed that the collection was indeed worth several $1,000,000. True to their grandfather's wishes, Emma and Sarah made a difficult decision. They sold a few of the rarest cars, including the Mercedes Gullwing, raising more than enough money to pay off all the farm's debts and to invest in new, modern equipment, securing its future for another generation. But they kept the cars that held the most personal meaning: their grandfather's beloved Ford pickup truck and the beautiful Chevrolet Bel Air. The old barn is no longer locked. It has been cleaned and restored, and it is now a private museum, a beautiful, sunlit space that houses the remaining cars. It is no longer a symbol of a family's division, but a testament to a grandfather's quiet, patient, and far-sighted love. The discovery did not just bring the sisters a fortune, it brought them something far more valuable. It brought them back their grandfather and the final, beautiful answer to a 15-year-old mystery.